This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so basically I'm going to teach you end to end the things which we have in Ansible, basically advanced Ansible. So let's get started with it. So the first question what we have, and that is in our mind, and that is called what is Ansible? Okay, so what is Ansible? So every time when we say Ansible, then we call it config management tool. Okay, so tool means we understand that using tools, we save cost, save time and improve the quality. Now save cost, save time, save improve quality, in this sense how it is we'll discuss in some time, but yeah, this you can take it as a feature or advantage of Ansible. Using Ansible you can save cost, save time and improve the quality. So now next question is, what is configuration management? What is a config management? Correct. So config management, it's a very broad word actually. You can attach this keyword config management to anything: room configuration, AC configuration management, laptop configuration, building configuration, anything. You can attach anything. It's a generic word. But here when we say Ansible and when we say config management, then basically here we are talking about servers config management. So you can manage one server, you can manage multiple server config management. Then you will ask the next question, what is there in the server? So we manage their configuration, correct? What is there in server? So we manage their configuration. So I would like to know from you, what is there, what you can find in the server, what you can find in the server.
Configuration of the applications, configuration of the hardware or machine itself or my operating system, lot of configuration settings.
Yeah, so typically uh, we say when it's a server, we what we have in terms of configuration management. So we see file everywhere is a file, and then we see directory, correct? Huh? Different files, different directories, correct? Now we see services also, we see packages also, multiple packages are installed. We see users also, we see groups, you know. So many things are there. We see command line, which is shell, bash, this, that, and all that. So these are the things which we have in the server. And using Ansible, we manage the configuration of file, directory, services, package, users, group, or so on. So why we
Um,
call it? Yeah.
Raj, just looking at the what is config management, right? You said server configuration management.
Hmm.
Why are you limiting it to only server configuration management? Because I heard that Ansible can also do configuration management for even hardware devices.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll just talk about it this one sometime. Okay. Yeah. So these are the things. So what I'm trying to say here, Ansible can manage configurations of these resources, which is in server. Simple. So that's the reason we call it Ansible is configuration management tool. Okay. So this is the something which we call it. Now let's put a more better context here. So here many people say, hey, we need to manage hardware, and then we need to manage software, then we need to manage the people, and then we need to manage the configurations of processes elsewhere. So can Ansible will help? Yeah, Ansible can help. So see here I'm putting in a straightforward way. Ansible can manage the configuration of these resources. So Now the question is, can Ansible manage the hardware? The answer is no. Ansible cannot manage the hardware. Okay. So now the next question you will ask me, who can manage the hardware? Any idea who can manage the hardware?
Operating system.
Mm-hmm. Hypervisor. Nowadays, if you look at this, who's managing hardware? I mean, sorry, hardware. Hypervisor like a VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, right? In a
Uh-huh.
cloud, AWS and Google Cloud, or anywhere, public-private cloud, anywhere you go, there's a hypervisor actually. Those who manage the hardware. So now the question is, what is a hardware? A hypervisor. Hypervisor is software, and software can be managed by Ansible. So theoretically, using Ansible, you can manage hardware. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now this is the hardware also you can manage. Now here, this all things is coming under the software. Okay. This is coming under the people, and this is also software and processes like different policies and all, which you can also manage it. Windows policy, Linux policies, and things like C group policies. So yes, theoretically, yeah, if you brought it using Ansible, you can manage hardware, software, people, and process. And we say change management of following. Change management of following components. Okay, is that uh, satisfactory?
Yeah.
Okay, so we understood that what is Ansible. Using that, you can manage a configuration. Now, this tool has been developed in Python. Okay, this tool has been developed in Python. So if you want to customize it, yes, you can learn Python and then get the customization done. Now, by what? So this is the organization. I think recently IBM has bought Red Hat. If I'm having good memory, so it's from the Red Hat. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the version which we have? So earlier we had a Python. I'm talking about Python 2.x. We had it. Okay. And now slowly we are getting into the 3.x. Sorry, Ansible. Here Python also. This is a Python and Ansible. Okay. So this is also 2.x. We had Python also and 3.x. So understand that Python 2.x and 3.x is a separate interpreter. So you should not mix and merge actually. I repeat, Python 3.0 is different from the Python 2.0. So same way, Ansible, the module which has been written, the code I mean to say, plugins in code, which has been written in Python 2.x also and 3.x also. So how do we get to know all this information? I will show you during the session. So these are the things. So these are the versions which we have released. Now, what are the releases which we have in Python? So many releases which we have. One is called Ansible. One is called Ansible AWX. It's not SX. And here Ansible Tower we have. So these are the different various releases which we have. So Ansible, when we say, is a command line tool. It's a free and open source. Anyone can use it. Ansible command line, Ansible AWX is UI based tool. It's also free, but there is a one thing. It's a latest non-tested version of Tower. Did you understand that? What is a AWX?
Uh-huh.
That means whenever the Ansible Tower that get released, before releasing that testing happens, before testing, whatever that sanity and all done. So they release in the market also to experience it. so people also can find a bugs into it. Most of the time you will find stability only, stable product is not tested properly, and support you won't have it here. Make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So now tower is basically UI and it's a paid software, and it's you'll find a support up to the 9 nodes. I think 10 nodes it is free, and after that it's paid. So I'll teach you all Ansible tower and Ansible as part of this session. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a config management tool developed in Python by Red Hat. There are 3.x we'll use for the our demo. Different release we'll use this one first, and then we'll migrate to Tower. Okay, so
And
that is a
releases one more thing. I asked you this question previously as well about the automation platform that they're talking. Did you get chance to explore it a little more and give us a little more guidance on that?
not I did not get chance, but during the Tower session we'll explore and give you the specification. That's
Okay.
not a challenge. Yeah, that should not be that is one thing for sure. They do not have any new thing. Okay, so there's no new thing. Wrapping up is another stuff. They keep it rebanding, rewrapping, and also. So that is it. We'll see that. That's not a problem.
Mhm.
Okay, so now what next? So next question you should be having in your mind, and that is called why Ansible. So here Ansible we use one of the use cases you say here is like parallel, config management, but people say deployment typically. Deployment, so saving time. See, if you do the parallel deployment, so of course you'll save time, right? So that's one of the feature. Now another thing is easy to learn, read, write, share, debug, and extend. That means if you want to write a program in this Ansible, compatibly, if you want the same functionality to be available, so this is easy to read, write, share, debug, and extend. That is something which we have. Now third thing is it's a cross-platform, and cross-platform means it will work for the Windows also, Linux also. Both the things it is working. Fourth thing is agentless. Okay, so here we do not have to install any separate agent, just like other previous configuration management tool. So that's one of the advantage which we have. And fourth thing is that is called idiom potent. So here idiom potent, this is the one. So this is the one. Now task for you, okay, homework. What is idiom potent and how it's implemented in Ansible? This you will tell me tomorrow. Okay.
It's a configuration that you would set, and if you run it 15 times, it will give you the same result.
Yes, the one statement is correct, but one thing you are missing.
Uh,
No problem. Just try offline. I can tell you, but I just want to give you some. Okay,
no.
so now we understand what is Ansible and why Ansible. Now let's say you will say, Rajesh, I don't like Ansible. No problem. Then you should like Chef. You should like Puppet. You should like Salt. You should like CF Engine, And these are the products which you have. So let's say if you don't like Ansible, then you may like these tools. By the way, all these products and comparing to Ansible is more uh, adaptive in a developer community, engineering community, rather than all these tools. So yes, these are the things. Now
And
next question.
when you're comparing with other tools, they say recently Ansible, the popularity of Ansible has gone down.
Ansible.
Is Ansible is not as popular as it used to be 5 years ago. Is that true?
See, not like that. I'll put it in yes or no, both the answer. I'll give it to you. I'll give you one answer. Are you using VM's cloud? Then Ansible is the best solution. Then second thing, I will ask you, are you using this one, what to say, Kubernetes, Docker and Packer and all? Then Ansible probably don't need it. Because for the node, okay, we pack them using HashiCorp Packer and we deploy the application in containers. So that is the things. We don't manage the Ansible in container because we replace the image all the time. Okay.
Okay.
So it's up to you. I mean, a lot of things depends on what you are going through. Let's say someone who have, okay, someone who have Ansible implemented.
Is that a
So
question?
yeah,
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking a question. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Just a second, hold on.
Mhm.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so it depends on the project actually. Let's say some projects have implemented everything in Ansible. So that's why that they need expertise in Ansible. Technology change cannot be done in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. It takes some time. Yeah. So what we did, uh, we understand what is Ansible, then why Ansible, other tools also. Next questions you should ask me how Ansible works. Remember that I'm talking about Ansible. Okay, so remember I'm not talking about the tower. Okay. Just a second, guys. Give me 2 seconds.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so next question is how Ansible work. So here I'm talking about the Ansible, but not Ansible Tower. We'll have a separate discussion on Ansible Tower, but here I'm talking about the Ansible. So first thing here in Ansible, we have you, and you talk to Ansible control server. Okay, so this is the, we call it in short, we call it ACS. Okay, Ansible control server. And then here, next one we have Ansible remote server. Okay, we have that is called ARS. ARS. So Ansible remote server. So now I'll just create a shortcut ACS and ARS. Now let me create one image for it. So here, this is you, this is ACS, okay, and this is ARS. This is ARS. From here, the deployment will happen. So this is ARS, okay.
Mhm.
So this is ARS. this is ARS, this is ARS, and so on. Okay, so this is something which you have. Now this is ACS, ARS. Now next thing is, let's talk about ACS and ARS. So ACS always has to be Linux, okay, 64-bit. But ARS can be anything. In ACS, you need to install Ansible. Here, you don't need to install anything. Okay. In ARS. In Ansible will bring few components. I would like to talk about it. So Ansible will bring Ansible plus many tools, plus many plugins, plus modules, and then config file. Okay. So these are the things Ansible will bring. Once you install Ansible, all these things you'll get it. Ansible, tools, plugins, modules, config file, and so on. Got it? Now, here you don't need anything else. This is Ansible. Now, here you will have a playbook. Now, what is a playbook? What is a module? What is a config file? And all this thing. What is a plugin? And all this thing I'll talk about. And then here we'll have inventory. So if you see that, everything you need to keep it in ACS only. So you have to install Ansible, you have to have a playbook, and you need to have inventory in ACS. Here is nothing. Make sense, all of you? Okay. Now what is Ansible, tools, plugins, modules, config file, playbooks, all these things I'll teach you one by one. Now next thing is communications. Communications. So what is a communication between these two? Okay, what is the communication between these two? So here, communications between the ACS versus ARS. So this is Linux, right? And here, if it is Linux, then the communication using SSH protocol. Make sense? And if it is, here has to be Linux only. And if it is a Windows, then it has to be WinRM protocol. Are you understanding? WinRM protocol. Now, here Linux, you need to have something installed, which is here Python is needed. Okay, SSH anyway is needed, but Python is also needed. Here in Windows, what you need is you need PowerShell 3.x and plus .NET 4.5 you need minimum. Okay, so by default nowadays in all the Python operating system, all the Linux operating system, Python you get it by default. So, and in Windows also PowerShell 3 and .NET 4.5 you get it by default. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So because of this, we say Ansible is agentless. Somewhere we said, no?
Right.
Yeah, agentless. Make sense? Yeah. So now what we are going to do? So we will understand what exactly these terminology, these components, what we have it. So far so clear, right?
Right.
Now the question you will ask me, what is a Python Ansible plugin? So guys, this is a code written in Python. It can be written in different languages also. Okay, but most of the core plugins is written in Python. The code written Python in ACS for adding a feature of ACS. Sorry, Ansible. Adding a feature of Ansible. Are you understanding?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Code written in Python in ACS for adding a feature of Ansible. Now, this is a plugin. So basically what happens is simple way. Ansible, you have a core, some tools are there, and you want to add so many features of that. So for that, you are adding a features of Ansible. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now next thing is modules. Ansible modules. What is Ansible modules? So basically Ansible module is also code written in Python. It can be in different language also, but I'm just not complicating too much. Code written in Python, but in ACS, you know, but run in a AARS. Are you understanding?
Mm-hmm.
So code, this is also modules written in Python or plus X for different languages in ACS, but run in ARS. That means this is a module located here. This is a copy module. Okay, copy module, and the source you need it and destination you need it. This whole copy, this code will copy it inside ARS and it will run in ARS. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the modules. Now next thing is config file. Ansible config. Okay. So Ansible config, if you want to change default setting of Ansible, you use this. See here, Ansible.exe, there is an executable, right? So lots of variable is hard coded in exe. Okay. So can you change the exe? No, you cannot change because it's executable. So how do you change it? And for that, we have a config file.
Okay.
Got it? So Ansible config is a same thing, but we have like that.
If I just refresh what you just said, basically plugins are extension of the functionality of Ansible. Modules are the code that is written that needs to be executed on the clients that we are managing.
Yeah,
And config is basically a settings that you need for your wherever the server part of it is.
yeah. So server, don't call it server, control server. It's executable only. There's no server as such.
Okay.
Okay. It's not some web server, app server. It's just executable. This is a tool actually. Okay.
Okay.
Tools, executable. So if you want to change the configurations of it, config. Make sense?
Uh-huh.
Now we have plugins, we have modules and config management. Now what is your playbooks? What is inventory? This I will discuss
Hello.
in some time. Yeah, tell me.
Can you please repeat the config part?
See here, simple way. Simple way. This is a executable. C tools. This is executable, correct?
Right.
So there are certain variables, certain hard coding path, certain different values is hard coded. Can you change it? No, you cannot change it because it's a binary.
Right.
So I want to change those part. So for that, there is a file given, which you call it Ansible file. This you can find under the etc Ansible config. Okay. So this file, you can use it to modify the executable properties. If you don't modify, then you use it same way. Here all the files will be commented, all the lines will be commented. More than 500 lines, I guess you have it. So 500 lines means what? So there are 500 properties for this executable, which is set inside a exe. Got it?
Right.
Yeah. So that can be done through Ansible configuration. Okay, so now what to do? So let's get started some demo. So before getting into the playbook and inventory. So I'll go and create one box which is CentOS 7 and clone it. Ansible advance, clone it. And start. So root Rajesh 123. So IP address. So IP address is 810, right? 10. So SSH root at the rate of 192.168.1.10. Rajesh 123. Okay, so here now Ansible is there. Ansible is not there. Python should be there, I guess. 2.7, I guess. So 2.7. So first thing what I will do, I'll replace this Python to 2.x to 3. So how can I do that? So Python 3 Devops school and here. So this is the Ubuntu, this is CentOS. So one thing I would like to do, change the Python default. So how do I do that? So installation instruction, I got it. Python default, change Python 2 to 3. So there is a command for it, and that is there is a way to do that, and that is change default Python 2 to 3. And okay, this is the manual way. I don't want to. There was one way actually. It was available, but it's okay. Let's not waste time. So let's install this first. Python 3. So here install the Python 3. So enter. Yes. Yes. and this command. Almost done. Done. Now let's check those. Python 3 installed. Yep. So 3.6.8. So this URL you can also use it. I'll share all these notes with you later. Okay. And after that you have to install Ansible 3. So Ansible 3. So where is Ansible 3 install? So, or let me search for Ansible install. Uh, okay, so I'm not able to locate quickly. Let's go for official commands also. That's also very easy to do, just 2-3 commands. Here, pip, you want to use pip, then you can go for it. Or I want to go for yum. So this Python 3. Here also you can use Ansible. This is the way to install Ansible. So Python 3 -m module pip install. So this also can install. Many ways to do that actually. Yum, I'm looking for yum. I have this command by the way here, but this is the command actually. But this will pick up Python 2. I know that. So I was looking for something which is. Let's go for this command only. Python 3 m pip. So you have to install the pip. So how to install pip? For that, here you have install pip. I think this is one. I'm installing the pip. Python 3 you have to use it all the time. And 20.x. So correct. This is up to date version. After that you have to install this command, which is here. So this is the installations of Ansible. And here you see Ansible 4.0 which is being downloaded. So this is the version, but actually this is the package name. Don't get confused all the time. So executable version will be different. I'll show you the difference. Okay. So this I'm using Python 3. So these are the commands I used. You can use this, all these tutorials also, good one for getting done. See, this is the one. Core is 2.x. Okay. So different options will be there. Core is 2.x, Jinja 3, and whole package we call it 4. So there's so many utilities are there. More than 10 utilities are there. Almost done. Okay, so these are the utility you see here. So Ansible core got installed, Ansible got installed, and Ansible Galaxy should also see that, should be here. So I'm not able to see that, but will be here in some time. So there's some warning, you can ignore it. It's a pip version warning. So done. So Ansible installation is done. Now if you want to install the different version, then you can specify that whatever you want and get going. And let's validate. So here I can't see here. Okay, so this is the problem I made it. So for root user it did not get installed. Just a second, I'll correct it. This one should be done. And this is the one. Ansible. Let me exit this. Ansible got installed, but the path issues is there. And we need to solve this. Rajesh 123 Ansible. Come on. Okay, so just let me go for the traditional way. It's installed, but where it's exactly installed, I don't know. And I don't want to search for also now. So this is the traditional way we need to install earlier. For
But you
time,
This is going to install using Python 2.
2.7. Yeah, that is a problem. So I'll just fix this problem later. I'll see that where exactly the path and all. So
What limitation will have if we go with Python 2?
uh, modules will be different. So that is the thing. So this is the version. We'll come to know whether it's detected Python 2 or Python 3. The latest version of Ansible is being installed for sure, but Python which is picking up, that I need to do some sort of alternate. Now let me check which version got installed. So this is the latest version. This is the configuration file which I was talking about, and here modules which you can find in these locations. Okay, this is the locations, and plugins, where is that? Here it is. Okay, and here it is. Now this is the drawback. So they have taken the default Python 2.7.5, which was not expected. So it was 3. That's the reason we were installing using this. But what has happened? I'll tell you. This command installed that, but actually installed in the only for this user somewhere in the hidden directory. Here it is. That is a problem. And oh, it's here also is not there. So where it is? We can remove and see that path one more time, just for the confirmation. So
Can you locate it?
upgrading. Remove. So let me remove it, that also. So this was I was expecting it should be like this. So let me check first. This is correct, and this is correct. This is correct. This is something I have to remove it. Remove it. Enter. Install pip. What is this? Pip remove or pip delete? Uninstall. Pip unins. Install package name. So here found existing installation, but while installing you should have gather the path, and using export you can set that, but I forgot completely. I thought it will set it up. So last time we installed 2.x, now we'll have to do 2.4 and 2.9, which is Python 3. Okay, it's take time. Okay, so meanwhile, yeah, so let's validate all this suitable whichever I discussed. So new window.
So, are you giving me this notepad as notes?
Yes, all this thing I'll share with.
Can you dump the history of that
Yes,
attack?
yes. 10. Okay, so now Rajesh 123. Okay, so now let's see it got completed. But remove is taking time. Okay, anyways, so here you go to the which Ansible. So here is set, right? So user ben, and here just type ansi underscore start. See here. So these all executable, you got it. Ansible, you have it. Ansible config, you have it. Console. These are the tools actually. Okay, these are the tools. Okay, different tools. I'll teach you over the period of time. Doc we have, Galaxy we have, Playbook we have, Pull we have, Vault we have. So these are the tools which you need to learn. Now the question is, where is modules and plugins? So remember, plugins is something which is enhancing the functionality of Ansible. So all the plugin you will see, I said, right, plugin is nothing but a code. So let's say lookup plugin is very popular one, and no thing is there. It should be somewhere else. Okay, so connection plugin, strange. I think it's getting removed actually. It should be Python file inside that,
Yes.
but right now it's not there. So maybe it's getting removed while in the parallel. So all is got removed. So let me search if Python file is there or not. Star.py star. Okay, no, it's removed. So here only you will get it, whatever location is the correct one. We'll install one more time and then we'll get it. Okay, so let me this time install Ansible. So just a second, which Ansible is there, but this time path is same actually, by the way. Okay, so look at this here. These are all the packages. This is the user location packages. This is, and some system location packages also. Okay, so here all the Python files will be there, and same place you will have tools also. Sorry, modules also. So modules also code, plugins also code. Configuration file, let me show you. It should be there by now. So etc Ansible, and here it is. This is the configuration file. All this entries you will find in the file commented. So based on your need, you can uncomment, and basically that will change the all the stuff. Got it, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we will, let me check the status of it. Ansible version, still not taken. Okay, so I'll just fix this one. I'll push this through the chat. Okay,
Okay.
WhatsApp chat. So this is the command I run in order to work with it. Remember that don't install Python, don't use with the Python 2.x, because we are trying with the 3.x.
Right.
So that is, others you can do one thing, easier approach. Remove the Python 2.0 and then install the Python 3.0 and then install it. So that way it will be easier for you. Okay, so next session, that let me show you the flow of this session. So how we'll move further. So in terms of Ansible, where is this? Ansible. Just a second, give me 2 seconds. So the flow of this training would be like this.
You have a lot of folders.
Yeah, I get sometimes confused actually. Here it is. Okay, so Ansible, right? So yeah, so the flow of the training will look like this. So first, next session we'll focus on ad hoc, and then we'll have one or two sessions on this one, playbook. Third sessions we'll have on the role, third or fourth session, and after that some advanced topic of playbook, and then we'll migrate to the tower and all stuff like that. Okay, so this I'm sharing with you in the chat window. It'll be easier for you. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far?
A couple of questions. First,
Yeah.
how many sessions are you planning to complete this course in?
It will be somewhere close to 12 to 15 hours of course actually.
Okay, and does this